Hey guys, Brad from RotoHeat back at it with another 2020 player outlook. This time we're talking A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Tennessee Titans. Don't forget, if you've been enjoying all this amazing free content the RotoHeat.com team's been putting out here on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit a like on this video, and don't forget to click the notification icon so you can stay up to date with everything that we've got coming up.
Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire.
In what was a super loaded wide receiver class last year, A.J. Brown was one of those guys that when he was drafted, folks were a little bit not as excited about, to put it nicely, but wound up being the best receiver in the class. I mean, at least last year. You know, he started off a little slow out of the gates, but dominated. You know, from weeks 8 on, you know, he was wide receiver 3 to go along with Tannehill was QB 3. All that being said, we expect some regression, you know, because that you have to remember that Tennessee is a run-first offense. I know that A.J. Brown exploded, and Corey Davis continues to not, and Derrick Henry had amazing production, and Jonnu Smith even started getting love there. But that team is going to focus on running the ball. They continue to do so. You know, they added another running back in the draft class, hoping that they'll be able to not only find the Dion Lewis role, but be able to spell Henry some so they can keep pounding the rock. You know, that is a team that wants to run the ball. And there's enough weapons on offense that there could be, you know, they could distribute the ball a little bit more. You know, they have some receivers beyond A.J. Brown and Corey Davis that they could get the ball to as well that could kind of eat into some of this other action. You know, obviously we're not saying that A.J. Brown is one of those guys that you need to look to sell anytime soon because he's a stud. I mean, he's very good. He's very dynamic. He's a great playmaker. You know, look at his production last year. He was a big play threat, even in a run-first offense. So we're not saying that, but we're not saying expect wide receiver 1 numbers every week. You know, definitely think if you're a team that was building, which, you know, you're drafting rookie receivers as high as A.J. Brown went as a team that's potentially in a rebuild type scenario unless you traded for that pick. So you've got a nice solid cornerstone piece of your team. I would not be looking to move him in that case. I definitely want to hold on to him. Now what I am saying is that, you know, temper expectations in 2020. You know, I wouldn't go into the season thinking he's going to be your wide receiver 1 every week because it's inevitable that there's going to be some regression. Year 2 wide receivers, you know, even the best of the best tend to have a little bit of a slump at times, you know. So don't go hitting the sell button too early. And if you are selling him, I want premium draft capital in return. You know, obviously you can't get much younger player upside as someone like that, but, you know, maybe you go after a guy who you know, didn't break out as much that maybe you were big on, you know, and have him thrown in the deal. So you get a first in 2021 and a player, you know, something of that like. But I would definitely not be looking to move him. That being said, I'm throwing out ideas for something that you could do, but I would not be in any hurry to trade A.J. Brown. He's going to be a stud for years to come. You know, Derrick Henry's playing the last year of his contract, so you don't know what this team's going to look like after that. You know, they got Darrington Evans, who is a nice young rookie that's going to come in and be able to do some things for him and really add another dimension to that offense. But that being said, A.J. Brown is still their guy, their go-to guy. You know, Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis and some of these other players will get some love, but he's the man. So still, I would expect him another 1,000-yard type season, you know, probably in the 4 to 7 touchdown range, you know, and that puts him really solidly, you know, in the upper wide receiver 2, low end wide receiver 1 category. So all those things being said, if you're a team that's rebuilding, keep riding that train because he's going to be paying dividends for years to come. If you're a contender that needs some wide receiver help and you're willing to throw some draft capital at him, at somebody who owns him, you're probably going to have to pay a premium price, but, you know, it's worth it because he's just a dynamic receiver. So let us know in the comments what you think about A.J. Brown. Hit us up on Twitter at RotoHeat Fantasy. Let us know what you think about A.J. Brown. RotoHeat.com to check out more written content about all these up-and-coming players. And find us on Discord and in the Facebook chats and let us know what you think about A.J. Brown.
Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.